Welcome to Your Health, where we explore the latest in health across the country. I'm Erica Cardenas. Today we're here at 24 Carats to talk about Eating Better Month. But before we dig into some delicious dishes, let's take a look at what's coming up on the show. How to change your diet by just swapping out one meal a week. And a way to get dental care at little to no cost. Plus, we bust the myth about fats in our food. All that and more in this episode of Your Health. Eating better is something many of us strive for, and a plant-based diet is a great way to do that. Here at 24 Carats, they know a lot about nutritious and delicious foods. Joining me now is owner Sasha Raj to tell us more. Sasha, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
First off, tell us about 24 Carats.
Oh, 24 Carats, I call it a botanically inspired cafe, and so we cook with the earth. We're very much global flavors, local harvests, and then we take both of those and inspire a weekly menu. So
now, speaking of your menu, what do you have to offer?
So we actually have a portion of our menu reflects just customer favorites. We're a plant-based restaurant, and so one of the challenges we have is kind of bringing people that comfort food that they wouldn't otherwise normally think of as plant-based. So that makes up a bulk of our regular menu, and then we have an entirely expansive creative outlet, which we do a weekly menu as well. So it's fun.
So we can't talk about your menu, of course, without sharing some of those customer favorites. So what are some of those?
Ooh, our buffalo cauliflower wrap. We bake our cauliflower rather than fry it, so it's a little bit healthier, but full flavored. That's wonderful. Then we make a Nashville hot chicken. I was raised in Kentucky, and so finally I had the opportunity to do a plant-based version of that. And that has our homemade bread and a homemade maple hot sauce that we put on top as well. That's very popular. And our breakfast burrito. Our breakfast burrito has 13 different vegetables in it. And I mean, my mouth is watering thinking about it, which says a lot because, you know, humbly, I think it's one of the best things I've made. So I love that. And then of course, over the years, we've expanded into desserts and coffees and all of that too.
Well, sounds absolutely delicious. Now, this is Eating Better Month. So what are some of the advantages of eating a vegetarian or a vegan diet?
So one of the most basic advantages is that you're removing a lot of cholesterol from your diet. You're also removing a lot of hormones and antibiotics, things like that. And generally speaking, the body does really well when it has a plethora of vitamins and minerals to draw from, which plants are perfect for that. So rather than taking a supplement, if you vary your diet to include more, then it's just a better and easier way to include a healthier choice into your everyday lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of misconceptions that eating a vegetarian diet means only eating salads, but that's not true, right?
Oh no, not at all. I always tell people that if you're just eating salads, you're doing it wrong. So it's there's so many wonderful fruits and vegetables, legumes, beans, root vegetables. I always tell people when they're like, it would be too hard for me to eat vegan or vegetarian, that chips and salsa are very popular vegan options. And so there are a lot of things that people traditionally flavor non-vegetarian dishes with plant-based derived herbs, spices, veggies, and we just amplify that. So yeah, it can definitely, I can understand the misconception that it could be difficult, but when you really think about the flavors you like and just are willing to try new things, it's very easy.
Now, if someone wanted to start small on incorporating a plant-based way of eating, what are some of the things that they can do?
So I really encourage people not to necessarily think of it as something that they have to remove from their diet to replace with something plant-based. I would say just supplement your diet with something plant-based. So say before you're going to eat that hamburger, maybe have a smoothie earlier in the day. And I've found 24 Carats actually started out as a smoothie bar, that's one of the best ways to get a multitude of veggies and fruits into your diet. We always wonder about that 5 servings a day, but if you could get 5 servings a day in sipping, you know, something delicious in your living room, why not do that? You know, it's wonderful, and it only takes about 30 to 40 seconds to prepare a smoothie. So I would say that's a great place to start.
That's a great tip. Thank you so much, Sasha,
it's my pleasure.
This super valuable advice. If you'd like more information about 24 Carats, just head over to their website. Good dental hygiene is important to overall health, and there's a world-class training facility that's helping patients achieve better dental health at little to no cost.
If you're shopping around and looking for that right implant for you, or you don't even know what an implant is, look no further, right? Simply Implant Institute is where you want to be in terms of care. You know, we have some of the best faculty members, well trained, over 100 years experience between all of the faculty members. And so when you're coming here, you know that you're in great hands.
We provide a place where if you want to be a patient, you can actually come and get top-of-the-line implant dental treatment. Now, one of the things we love about this is all the instructors that are with us, they actually been doing implants for many years. In the Institute, it's primarily all the surgical work, but it's up to you to decide ultimately what you want, whether it's a denture, which you take out in and out at night, or whether it's a hybrid type of denture, which we take out once a year, or if it's a fixed bridge work, where basically you never have to take it out at all. We don't push any certain treatments on you. We want to find out what's important to you, what makes sense to you. During the screening, we see what is your bone is like, what is your teeth. We find out all of these things and we say, you know what? Usually we have approximately 3 categories of way that we can get you fixed up. Perhaps maybe there's 2 that actually will work. What makes sense to you? What is actually going to work? You know, if you don't have to lose all of your teeth, but you still need some implants, we can show you some ways we can get your smile right back to where you might want it to be.
Find out the alternative and options that are available in implant dentistry, because there's a lot of practices that are not really focused on everything. And implants is one of those fields that you can have alternative choices, you can stage things, so the client ultimately gets what they're looking for. While we all know that implant dentistry is expensive, a lot of people are confused about implant dentistry, like, oh my God, the cost. Well, as I said before, the cost in implant dentistry can be very affordable for some of the smaller options, like immediate dentures with implants, all right? And we have different options available for people that are losing all their teeth. Here at the Institute, what we do is restorative training, and what we also do, we're a surgical course. And you know what is crazy as heck? It's actually completely free, complimentary, and actually nothing in life is free. So where's that money coming from? Well, it's the doctors paying us good tuition to give you a complimentary service. And people are like, is there something catch? No, not at all. So you pay for the denture, for example, we'll do as many implants as you need for the overdenture. The only thing that a client is responsible for is paying for the denture. So everybody watching this video that is considering doing implant dentistry, if you want to get informed about an alternative or choice that will change your life, then I invite you to come to the Institute, get the information you need so you can actually help yourself make a good decision by being completely informed in the world of implant dentistry.
Changing eating habits can be overwhelming, so make minor adjustments over time. One easy one is to slow down. Studies show the pace you eat impacts how likely you are to gain weight. It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to realize you're full, so slow down and enjoy your food. Here's what's coming up next on Your Health. How to get help with your breathing after suffering from COVID-19, and a group providing resources for life's struggles. At True Health, they're helping patients who suffered from COVID-19 regain their health one breath at a time.
If you or your loved one are struggling with chronic lung conditions from post-COVID residual breathing problems, you may be a great candidate for our lung rejuvenation therapy. A lot of our patients who come to see us have COPD, they have emphysema, they have asthma, they have these chronic lung issues. As you know, with any type of chronic lung condition, it only gets worse with time, and we know that. And over time, the function of the lungs will decrease with about a 1% per month if we don't do anything about this. So anyone who is suffering with this, who are on medications, they're on inhalers, they're even on oxygen, what we want to do is stop the damage and allow the body to heal and regenerate. So currently what we're able to do is actually harvest these naturally healing cells in our body. In doing so, we're able to stop the damage from getting worse, so we can overcome the trouble breathing, the need for oxygen, and all these medications that keep piling up, and reverse these symptoms that these patients are struggling with post-COVID. So currently, patients that have chronic lung conditions, all they have is medications, steroids, and then when that doesn't work, they have to use oxygen. And then when that fails, well, then there is physical therapy for lungs. And when that fails, unfortunately, if there is a part of the lung that is so severely damaged, they have to have surgery to get rid of that part. So that's all that's available. It's medications, it's masking the symptoms. There is nothing out there that is designed to repair the body and allow it to heal. Left untreated, we know that lung condition will just continue to decline the lung function over time. Post this therapy, what we're able to see is that patients will actually have an improved lung function with time. So the remarkable part about this therapy is that we have seen patients who have seen an improvement as soon as 1 week. The soonest and the fastest results that one of our patients experienced was actually immediately after the procedure. So they were able to have improved energy, they no longer needed their inhaler, and again, when we checked up on them a week later, they no longer needed their oxygen, they had more energy. It can happen that fast. The procedure is a simple outpatient procedure. Our patients are completely awake for the whole procedure and are able to come and receive the therapy and go home within a few hours. So if you are somebody who suffers with chronic lung conditions, who have had COVID, and now your lung condition has become significantly worsened, and now you're dealing with these residual breathing problems, we really want to see you, and we're able to offer you this free screening where it'll tell us exactly how progressed this damage is and whether we can help you or not. So if you are someone who is struggling with this, please give us a call. We can help you. All you have to do, give us a call.
Daily life can take a toll on our mental health, and the experts at Focus Family Services have advice on when you should seek help and get a mental health checkup.
There are many signs that we notice within ourselves that we know that we can seek help. Your body tells you that something's not right. Whether it's you're sleeping and you prefer to just lay under a pillow and a blanket all day, and that's not your norm. I think if it's anything that's out of your normal day-to-day routine, it's something that you might want to pay attention to and then say, hey, maybe I should call. And maybe it would be good for me to just check in.
This year has been tough across the board. With the pandemic, the health problems of the pandemic have been brutal. People have lost their lives, people have been incredibly sick. Secondary to that, and I've said this from the beginning, there are so many issues related to COVID-19 that aren't related to medical. Depression, anxiety, mental health, suicidality, substance abuse, domestic violence. All of those things, we've been providing those services before we knew what COVID was.
Focus Family Services is about focusing on family. We focus on the individual and their mental health. We focus on restoring individuals to their optimal functioning.
We do outpatient group counseling for substance abuse, anger management, domestic violence. We have a mindfulness skills group that I do. And then we also provide individual counseling, family counseling, in-home counseling, as well as psychosocial rehabilitation services and vocational rehab services. Every year we're supposed to have an annual physical, and I think that it should be the absolute same for mental health. You know, the way the mind and the body are connected is really, really important, and sometimes it will show up physically when it's actually much more of an emotional or a mental problem. So I think getting a checkup, like a mental health checkup, is really, really important.
We are a small behavioral health agency. We pride ourselves in providing the best individualized, personalized care to every member that walks through the door. Larger agencies sometimes struggle with that simply because of their size. With our size and the services we provide, we can make sure that everyone that comes in feels comfortable, they feel like they're part of their treatment team, and they're an integral part of their treatment team, and they feel a sense of belonging with everyone here that they work with. Everyone that's coming in is wearing a mask. All of our staff, when interacting with our members, wearing masks. Everyone that's coming in, their temperature is checked when they walk through the door. all of our members know, and this is reiterated frequently, if you're sick, if you're symptomatic, we can provide telehealth services. We can provide those services via the computer, via the phone. We don't want people here putting themselves or anyone else in harm's way. For anyone that has any questions, our website is www.focusedfamilyaz.com. All of our contact information is there, and our phone number is 602-253-6259.
Another easy way to get on a better eating path is to select popcorn over chips. Popcorn is a whole grain food loaded with nutrients and fiber, but instead of going with the microwave varieties, try popping your own kernels or select air popped in bags. We're gonna pop on over to a break, but we'll be right back after this. An organization offering a helping hand to expecting mothers. And we tell you the types of fats you should be incorporating into your meals. A lack of resources and education for pregnant women is at the heart of what Save the Storks is about. This organization is trying to bridge the gap for expecting mothers.
Save the Storks is an organization that equips pregnancy resource centers across the nation so that these pregnancy resource centers can reach more women facing unplanned pregnancies and provide them with holistic care, compassionate choices, and just an abundance of resources to support their decision to choose life. A lot of women, when they are faced with unplanned pregnancies, they often are decision vulnerable because they don't know of all of their choices. In that very immediate moment, they may think there's only one option for them to move forward. We believe in choices, and what that means is allowing them to actually have all of the choices and all of the options and all of the guidance so that they are able to make an informed decision. SafeDistortion has been around for about 10 years. Most people know us by our stork buses. A stork bus is a mobile medical unit that's equipped with the state-of-the-art medical equipment as well as very knowledgeable and experienced medical professionals. They offer pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, and also STD tests.
The buses enable them to reach areas, especially in rural areas, I would say, where maybe there's not a pregnancy care center nearby. And so these buses are able to go into those areas and provide the services that women maybe aren't able to get to. So I'm going to tell you a story about how the bus was available for one young girl. She was 16, she was pregnant, and it was very shameful for her family. They ostracized her, the boyfriend left her, all of her friends ostracized her. She was all alone, and her mother was asking her to get an abortion. She was going to the beach one day, and she saw our mobile unit, and she came up to the door and she said, "Can I please see my baby?" We did an ultrasound for her and found out that she was about 16 weeks along. We eventually was able to get the mom to come with, and the dad and the boyfriend. We got everyone together to come and do another ultrasound where they could all see. When her mother, who was encouraging her to have an abortion, saw this baby, she immediately started to cry. Everybody was in tears. She said, you know, my family, each of us, we were all living for ourselves. We were all doing our own thing, but she said, now we all live for my daughter. So to me, that is the perfect example of what having a stork bus in the right place at the right time can do.
Sometimes another woman just needs to be inspired by another woman, and we can definitely empower more women by coming together and showing her and allowing her to understand that she is actually so much braver and so much more courageous than she gives herself credit for.
We are here for you, 100%. We are here to walk this journey with you so that you're not alone and to help you find your heart in all of this. And that means and that you're going to make a choice that is truly going to be something that years from now you're going to be proud of.
One of the simplest things you can do for a big impact to your health is to replace your sugary drinks with sparkling water. Sugary beverages are linked to numerous diseases, and eliminating them will help your overall health. Don't go away, we have much more coming up on the show. We bust the myth of good fats versus bad fats. I had a chance to talk with Dr. Schott about the myth that all fat is bad for you. He shares whether that's true or false.
The answer is that fat is good and bad, and it depends really on how you prepare the fat, where the fat comes from, and what kind of fat it is. Let's start with what is good fat, because for many years we thought that all fat was bad. And the reality is that when we had a head-to-head study from the American Heart Association, at that time low-fat diet versus the Mediterranean diet, the results were so impressive that they actually had to stop the study in the middle of it because the people in the Mediterranean diet group had such great benefits for their heart, with less heart attacks, less strokes, lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, and they were just doing so well that it was unethical to continue the study. And so what we learned from that and subsequent research is that there's good fats that we need actually. Fat is a critical part of heart health, brain health. Every cell in our body needs fat. The question is what kind of fat? And the best fat is actually plant-based fats that come from nuts and seeds, avocado, and then also followed by that is fatty fish, wild seafood, the healthy fat that comes in wild salmon, for example, or omega-3 fish oil. Obviously, extra virgin olive oil is a plant-based fat that's also really good. Bad fat is actually processed fat. Fat that is like hydrogenated oils and other kind of ingredients of solid fats that are in processed foods. And also any fat, even the best extra virgin olive oil, if you cook it past the smoke point where it starts smoking, you actually damage the fat. And that damaged fat goes into our bloodstream and then it basically oxidizes and further damages our LDL cholesterol, causing inflammation, which eventually leads to the process of atherosclerosis and narrowing of our arteries that leads to heart attacks and strokes. So that's why the issue of fat is more complicated. Looking at what kind of fat is the most important question.
We want to thank Sasha for hosting us today, and we hope we've encouraged you to make small changes in your eating habits to live a healthier life. Replacing your fast food joint for restaurants like 24 Carats is a smart and simple choice. The delicious and nutritious foods will have you hooked on better eating. Thank you for joining us on Your Health. We hope you have a healthy and happy day. I'm Erica Cardenas. See you next time.